Hey guys, Mal here, and today we're going to take a look at how to survive in Phasmophobia. Firstly and most importantly, your mic is open to the ghost at all times. So regardless of you setting push to talk in the settings, unless you mute your mic, the ghost can and will hear you. Next up, I want to mention the difficulties. There's amateur, intermediate, and professional. The only difference between the three difficulties is the warm-up time at the start. Amateur gets 5 minutes, intermediate gets 2 minutes, and professional gets no warm-up. Initially, when you're starting, you won't have a choice. All your jobs will be amateur. You can group up with a higher level buddy if you want to skip them, but honestly, they're not a bad introduction to the game. Once you're in the swing of things though, step it up. Don't be afraid to try a professional run. The warm-up time isn't as helpful as you think it is, and as you get better, it'll hinder your investigations. Plus, the money that you make from professional jobs is insane compared to amateur. Speaking of making money, let's run through these real quick. The first 4 are the objectives from the board in the job. You get heaps for the first objective because it's the main reason you're there, whereas the rest are optional extras. After that, you get your cash for photos. Now with photos, you'll get bonus cash for pictures of certain things. For example, the ghost, a handprint on a door, the bone, voodoo doll, etc. Any sign of the ghost or ghost activity. It is extremely important that if someone dies, you take a picture of their dead body. You must do this for that player to get insurance on their gear. Now, bone evidence. Fairly often you'll find a little bone while you're on a job. Before you touch it, take a photo of it. That will earn you a little extra cash, then pick it up. It's important to get the picture first because once you've picked it up, the thing vanishes and you get bonus cash for the bone evidence. Because it magically disappears, you don't have to worry about having an item slot free. Just drop something on the ground so you've got a free spot, pick it up, and then pick your item back up. If you find a little creepy voodoo doll, take a picture of it for bonus cash. Pick it up and throw it on the ground, and it might slide towards the haunted room. This can help you identify the room, and taking a photo of the doll afterwards will count as photo evidence. Next, we've got insurance, which I mentioned earlier. If you die and your team takes a picture of your body, you'll get some money back to compensate for the lost gear. It's not a full refund or anything, but it's better than nothing. While we're on the topic of gear and dying, whatever you take in you get back as long as you survive, even with the consumables like sanity pills. Let's say you used all 4 on a run, but you make it out alive. You get all 4 back to bring in next time, even if you failed and got the ghost wrong. However, if you die, it's all gone, and your best hope is a bit of cash from insurance. Lastly, you've got the difficulty multiplier, which gives you a higher multiplier for the harder difficulty you choose. Now let's talk about smudge sticks, because wow, have I seen a lot of people using them incorrectly. Grab a lighter and a smudge stick, pull the lighter out and light it. Now swap to your smudge stick. Okay, now you're ready. Head into the room the ghost is haunting, now hit F, run around the room, a bit more for fun than anything, and then hit G and throw it on the ground. I've seen way too many people light them as they walk into the building, and unless the ghost is in that first room, then you've wasted it. I even had people adamant that you can light it anywhere, even though it doesn't cross the optional objective of until you light it in the room. Trust me guys, this is how it works. Don't waste your time with normal flashlights, they're terrible. Get yourself a strong flashlight. I know they are pricey initially, but it's worth every cent. Now this next bit is going to come down to personal preference. I am a big fan of the thermometer for finding the room. You don't necessarily need it, but it's something I bring to every job. I find it's the quickest and easiest way to identify the room. Additionally, I like to start my jobs off in a very specific way. Grab a strong flashlight, thermometer, and spirit book. Head in and do a quick walk across the building, just one side to the other. If you're in the school, across the middle works. And on asylum, just wander down the main left and right hallways on the first floor. Along the way, ask it to show you a sign repeatedly. It doesn't have to be constant, just every 10 seconds or so. If you get a blatant sign that points you straight to the room, go suss it out with the thermometer, and if it's under 10 degrees, throw that book down because you got it. Just remember, for the freezing temp evidence, it has to drop below 0 degrees, and you'll see it in your breath. If you don't get a sign, head back to the truck and check the cameras for any signs. You're looking for lights that you haven't turned on, open doors that you haven't opened, and such. If you still aren't seeing anything, start clearing the place. Turn the main hallway lights on while you clear rooms. Don't waste time with individual room lights. That way you avoid blowing the circuit board, and you save a bit of time and sanity. You won't even be in the individual rooms long, just long enough to check the temperature. As long as you've got some light for a good bit of your travel in and out, you'll be fine. If the ghost cuts a circuit on you, check the map in the van. It'll show you where the board is so you can turn it back on. Now let's address sanity. As far as I understand it, your sanity level is directly related to how frequently the ghost is going to hunt. It only takes into account people that are inside the building. So if one of your teammates has tanked their sanity, it can be beneficial to the team to have them wait in the van and relay info from there. Scare events and hunts will take a heavy toll on your sanity. So will spending time alone, or being in the dark, and being close to the ghost. A Yuri will passively drain way more sanity than other ghosts. You'll learn to spot it when your sanity takes a major and weird hit. You can use sanity pills to restore 40% of your sanity. Do not waste the pills by taking them before you're below 60% sanity. Also, don't panic if your team is all sitting on low sanity. Yes, the ghost is going to hunt you more frequently now. Some will hunt you almost relentlessly. That being said, if you follow the upcoming rules, you'll be fine. First and foremost, ensure at least one person in the team has a flashlight on them and on at all times. If you're carrying a flashlight, swap to another item and then press T to turn the flashlight on. This is an intentional mechanic to account for those playing in VR who can hold two items at once. The reason you want a flashlight on at all times is because it's your best way to know if the ghost is hunting. When a ghost starts to hunt, flashlights start flickering. Yes, you can use the lights in the building, but if the ghost cuts the power, you're in the dark and have no idea if it's hunting or not. Now the ghost will pick a random player to hunt. Everyone needs to get inside a room. The same room is fine. Shut the door and hide. When you shut the door, you want to hear the door closing noise to know that you're good. Additionally, be careful about where you hide. Wraiths can see through doors. If it's a wraith and it sees you, it will bust the door down and get you. If the ghost gets to its target, that player is gone and the hunt ends. If everyone hides appropriately and it can't get to its target, then it'll hunt for 60 seconds and then stop. You'll know that it has stopped when your flashlight stops flickering or when you stop hearing static over the radio. Speaking of which, V is for talking in-game to those around you, and B will talk over the radio, so everyone hears you when the team is separated. You can use crucifixes to set up a safe space for your team. Throw them on the ground and they will cover a 3-meter diameter. If the ghost spawns inside that area to hunt, it will cancel the hunt. If the ghost spawns outside of that radius, then it will hunt as usual. This may seem useless for times when the ghost is haunting a big room. If you find yourself in this unfortunate situation, you can still make a safe room for your team with them. Find a small room nearby and throw one on the floor. Throw the second way in the hallway between the haunted room and the safe room. That way you know if it starts hunting, it can't have been from your safe room. Get everyone inside, shut the door, and hide. Only say the ghost's name if you want to make it unhappy. This should only be used if you have an extremely shy ghost and have exhausted all other options, as it will aggravate the ghost. The more jobs you do, the more comfortable you'll get, the more knowledge and experience you'll have. Before no time at all, the meat box won't even bother you. The main thing is to stay calm, don't panic, and think logically. So long as you're doing that, you can avoid almost all deaths. If you want proof or haven't seen them, check out my Phasmo solo pro runs. I've done the hardest levels as well as a starting items only challenge on Asylum. I nailed them all on first attempts. Follow my guide and you can get out alive. Good luck, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.